If she's slipping from your life, this is how you make her come back. Not by yelling, not by proving your point, not by trying to win the argument. You win by staying silent. Because silence isn't weakness. It's power, and when you understand how to use silence the right way, you'll realize you don't need to win the fight. You just need to keep your frame. Most men think that arguing shows strength. They think if I don't defend myself, she think I'm wrong, so they react. They raise their voice, they chase closure. But every time you argue emotionally, you're not showing strength. You're showing attachment. And nothing kills attraction faster than emotional attachment and conflict, because here's the truth. You don't lose the argument when you go silent. You lose it when you lose control. Let's break this down psychologically. When two people argue, what actually decides who wins is not the words. It's energy. The person who stays calm, grounded, and collected automatically becomes the leader in that interaction. Women are emotional by nature. They test to see if your emotions can handle theirs. If you match her energy, yelling, defending, reacting, you fail the test. Because she doesn't need a man who mirrors her emotions. She needs a man who can contain them. That's what Stoicism is all about. Not suppressing emotions, but mastering them. When you argue, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Your testosterone drops. You lose focus, logic, and presence. But when you stay silent, breathe deeply, and observe, you keep your hormones balanced. You stay in control of your biology. And that's where power comes from. Because silence is the purest display of emotional discipline. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." That's the essence of Stoic masculinity. You don't need to react to everything that challenges you. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to win every battle. Sometimes the most powerful move is no move at all. Now let's talk about how to actually practice this. Step 1. When emotions rise, stay still the moment she gets emotional. Your instinct will be to defend yourself. Don't breathe, look her in the eye. Let her talk, let the storm pass. Because silence in those moments doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're in control. Most men explode, Stoic men exhale. Step 2. Don't try to fix your emotions when she's angry or upset. Your logic won't help. If you try to solve her feelings with explanations, you're missing the point. She doesn't want a solution. She wants to feel your stability. So, instead of explaining yourself, stay present, let her finish. Then calmly say, "I hear you," and move on. That single phrase combined with silence is more powerful than an hour of arguing. Step 3. Choose calm over being right. You can win the argument, or you can win her respect. Rarely both. When you argue to win, you become defensive. When you stay calm, you become magnetic. Because every time you choose peace over pride, you show leadership. And feminine energy always submits to calm leadership. She may be loud in the moment, but trust me, what she remembers is how unshaken you were. Step 4. Let silence teach the lesson. After an argument, stop chasing. Don't text long apologies. Don't send emotional messages trying to explain what you meant. Just go quiet, because silence after conflict makes her reflect. She replay your calmness in her mind. She start wondering, did I go too far? Why didn't he fight back? That's when the respect returns. Your absence forces her to feel your value again. Now let's look at a story. There was a man named Chris. Every time his girlfriend got upset, he reacted. He tried to explain himself to prove he wasn't wrong. Every fight ended with him apologizing for things he didn't even do. She started losing respect because deep down, She felt she could control his emotions. One day after a big argument, he decided to change. He said nothing. She yelled, tested, even cried, but he stayed calm. He just said, "I'll talk to you when we're both calm." And he walked away for 2 days. He said nothing, no texts, no calls, and on the third day, she came to him not angry, but soft. She said, "I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that." That's what silence does. It doesn't punish. It corrects. Because silence is the mirror that makes people see themselves. Let's go deeper. When you stop reacting, you're not just controlling the argument, you're controlling the frame. The frame is who leads the emotional direction. If she's angry and you stay calm, you set the emotional tone. If you get angry too, she wins because she pulled you into her storm. Stoic men don't get dragged into storms. They become the eye of it. Still, quiet, centered. Seneca once wrote, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." That's why silence is stronger than any clever comeback. You don't win an argument by having the last word. You win by having the last emotion. Let's make it practical. Here's what to do next time an argument happens. Keycap 1. Pause before replying. Take 1 slow breath. Keycap 2. Don't interrupt, let her finish. Keycap 3. When she's done, wait 2 seconds, then respond calmly or not at all. Keycap 4. If you feel triggered, end the conversation with, "Let's talk when we're both calm." Keycap 5. Stay silent afterward. No emotional fallout. UPS. You'll be amazed how much changes when you replace words with composure. Now let's talk about what happens after silence. See, silence changes perception. When you stop reacting, you start reflecting value. Because people respect what they can't easily move. When your emotions are stable, people start checking theirs. That's why Stoic men are so powerful. Their peace unsettles chaos. But don't confuse silence with coldness. You're not shutting down, you're just choosing not to feed negativity. Your silence is not revenge. It's restraint, and restraint is respect for yourself. Because when you no longer argue to be understood, you start to live to be respected. You want her to feel your power. Don't yell, don't explain. Don't chase her approval, just stand still. Stay calm, let silence do what your words never could. Because silence, real masculine silence, is louder than anger, deeper than explanation, and more unforgettable than noise. She tests you again, she push your buttons. But the next time she tries to argue, remember this. You don't need to participate in chaos to prove your peace. Just smile, stay grounded, and let her emotions fall quiet against your calm. Because one day, she realized she never won a single argument with you. She just learned to respect your silence. Comment Unresistable if you're ready to stop fighting for validation and start letting your silence do the talking.